What I love about this piece is that it's kind of evoking an earlier style. It starts very simply, the harmony is quite straightforward, but it's just got that little twist of odd extra dissonance, which shows that it's not something written in the 17th century, but something written in the 20th century. So whilst he could have done he starts with nice simple harmonies. Nothing strange about that at all simple, straightforward chords. Then the next bar, he could have done it more simply like this. But instead, he adds the extra dissonance here and there. So he starts with four ordinary chords. Then a scrunchy one, another scrunchy one, and then two ordinary ones to finish. And he keeps on doing this, so there's this odd dissonance here and there, making it just that extra sort of piquancy and that very kind of characteristic. Whenever you hear a piece of Poulenc, you know instantly it's by him. He tends to use his own sort of special harmony. I'll show you more of that in other pieces. The other thing that's interesting about this piece is how it starts very much in traditional harmonic area. The whole of the first dozen bars or so is in G minor. It's got this strong tonal center. And it just ends that in the major in bar 12. And that seems quite straightforward and simple in a way, but then he suddenly goes into a totally different harmonic area. And then he almost as rapidly suddenly goes back to the original tonality. But still with some scrunchy chords here and there. And then he moves on as the piece progresses between these kind of outbursts of very plaintive, expressive, pleading things to go with the text. They're in bar 20. Then it gets soft again, and again very simple. Then there's just a hint in Misericordias in bar 23. There's this just a little clash in the second chord. There. But whatever happens, he always kind of has these very regular phrases, and it always kind of resolves whatever tortuous routes it takes. It always kind of finds its way out in the end. And then the final section is this very, very simple, goes back to like the beginning, talking about from bar 41, O Dulcis Virgo, this meditation on the beautiful Virgin, that's kind of almost like a litany, a kind of a rocking feeling. And what he does is he just keeps oscillating between the same two chords of G minor, the home key, and C minor. And he's just playing around with those two chords and altering them, so you kind of feel like you're being rocked to sleep. And he keeps going really through that whole passage in bar 44. That's really just the same two chords, G, D minor, and he does it for another two bars, and then he suddenly goes into the Poulenc style, the very sudden, very French. You can almost smell the brie at bar 48. Especially here. goes back to the rocking idea. For 2 bars, and then slightly more interesting in bar 52. And then to finish, he does this wonderful effect of having a chord. He's taken the G major chord, which would be like this, and he makes it as dissonant as he possibly can by taking the G in the basses and placing against it. So there's the G, and against it he puts the A flat of the tenors, and especially the sopranos with this wonderful high A flat against it. A very, very strong dissonance. But then to make it even more poignant, he, instead of making it loud and a cry for help like he has done earlier, he actually just marks pianissimo and très doux. It's very kind of almost otherworldly for these last 4 bars. And again, even at the end, it's softer still, but still very close dissonance. Look at the altos and against the C of the basses in the second to last bar, and then you've got a tone higher, the alto note, and then the semitone higher than that, you've got the tenor note, and then the sopranos on top. He returns to it, and resolves it not to a G minor chord nor a G major chord, but an open 5th chord, leaving this kind of emptiness. And notice it's written in 1941, and there's a lot of his most poignant music which was written during the war. I'm now going to turn to show you something completely different. In many ways, well, I'm going to show you a set of 2 songs. They're very short, and they are the set Fête Galante. There are 2 songs. One is called C'est, and one is called Fête Galante. And I'm going to play you a video of these 2 songs. The first one is a play on the word, on the sound C'est. So I've crossed the bridges of C'est. It was there that everything began. And like this is close in style to the Salve Regina, in that it feels very kind of reminiscent. It's a reminiscent of the past. The text talks of a song of bygone days, tells of a knight who injured and lay of the rose upon a carriageway, and a bodice with an unlaced stay, the castle of an insane duke, and swans in castle moats. So it's very evocative, and it's also a play on the word, on the sound "c'est." Each line ends with the syllable "c'est." So it's Pont de C'est is the place. J'ai traversé les ponts de C'est, c'est là que tout a commencé, it's where everything has began. And each line of poetry ends with the syllable C'est. Then the second one of these shows Poulenc's other side, which is a very, very cheeky, completely the opposite, very urban. There's kind of Parisian cars and sort of busyness. This piece is called Fête Galante. It's the same set, a set of 2 songs. And a quick translation of the song, as courtesy of Richard Stokes, is I won't read all of it, but gives you an idea. He said, you see, and each line, the same way that the first one ended with C'est, this one, each line begins with on voit, you see, or one sees. And it starts, you see fops on cycles, you see pimps in kilts, you see whippersnappers with veils, you see firemen burning their pom-poms, etc. You see the backs of cabaret singers, you see unmitigated idiots, whatever they are. You see girls who are led astray, you see gutter snipes, you see peeping toms, you see drowned corpses float beneath bridges. It's all rather macabre. But he does it, the way he sets it is unbelievably fast. So fast you can hardly hear the words. A very, very difficult, virtuosic piano part. So have a listen to these 2 songs. They're 2 separate videos, and that's Poulenc's other side, and he wrote so much in this style.